There we go. All right, we are back.
We have to change our mind about ourselves.
Yep. Yo, there he is. What's happening?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Look like we're not streaming to Elder Messiah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just seen
That key was long. Man, I really don't have time to try to fix it right now. I'm gonna see if we can get that fixed. And if we don't get it streamed in tonight, we'll see if we can get it fixed for next week. I don't know, but I felt like that was gonna happen. That's K Reno in the background, man. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him or not. K Reno, he is up out of Houston. He used to be with a group called South Park Coalition. K Reno finally found the truth. This is not actually truth music, as we call truth music, man, but it's still music. It's so called Black Power. You want to listen to some high elevated music? I vouch for my brother K Reno, man. Yeah, I'm talking about some subconscious lines that'll make you think. He had one song, he had me stopping and pausing, contemplating, and to go back. And did he say that? Yeah, he did say that. Okay, then, well, what was his mind say when he said that? But yeah, K Reno, check him out, man. Other than that, man, it's been a great week. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Man, I wish I could get that string key.
Yeah, you real choppy, Pop.
My choppy? I don't know what it is. Something like this is going to happen tonight. I don't know. Is it real? Is it bad?
I mean, it's going in and out.
I think it's that same thing. Remember we had that problem with this mic?
Yeah,
I stopped talking for some reason and it dipped down and dipped out. But I don't know.
It couldn't be the music, could it? There, okay.
I don't know what I sound like now. I just paused it.
Okay, you know what? That might have brought you back.
It might have been the music.
It might have been.
Okay, we're fine. If it was the music, it was the music. Hey, he's out of there.
K Reno, I hate to do it to you, but you're popping, but you had my brother chop the screw a little bit.
Yes, out of there.
Yeah,
we got Turn Up the Lights in the house. Shalom, shalom, Delta. We got Shaka Boom 80 in the house. Shalom, shalom. Carl is in the house. Y'all May is in the house. Mr. Tyrion, shalom, Mr. Tyrion.
Mr. Tyrion. Shalom,
yeah. Q Battle is in the house. Shalom, sister Banat Shala Haya has popped in. I was told by Banat that she is still part of the team.
Okay.
All I can do is leave. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, hey.
Don't try to pull no Jess Hilarious. when you come back.
No, I didn't for some reason allow myself to get sucked into that.
Yeah,
I heard
it's
a
all,
little bit.
it's theater, man. It's theater.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of it, but I did not allow myself to just really get, sucked into it and
for you to
find
be
out
that
more about it.
disgruntled, for you to be that disgruntled, not meaning to cut you off, but before my
No, you
mind
good.
set up the way, for you to be that disgruntled, do an IG live rant and then show up to work. Yeah, that's normally
She showed up with smoke with the same energy too, didn't she?
Showed up with, and I think if it wasn't propped up behind stage and behind the scenes, hey, look, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. If it wasn't that, yes, ratings, meaning when the camera started rolling and the producers were in each ear, because they were supposed to have her back and have old girl away. That's been her replacement since she had a baby. But I think the producers were in the earpiece and saw the energy and was like, you know what? Keep her there. Keep old girl there. Let's see how this play out. And it played out to where it was ratings. I think people tuned in because I wasn't even on it until I seen the people reacting to it. I was like, wait, what the happened? And then that's when I was like, oh snap. So I think it was theatrics, man. You know, they ratings. I mean, they've been popping for what, 15 years now. So I mean, are people getting a little mundane and a little bored with what they're doing? Probably. And they say, let's spice it up a little bit.
Spice it up a little bit.
You got Joe Budden podcast. You got
Joe Budden is nice too, man.
Yeah. So I think they kind of having to do these scripts and theatrics to kind of keep people in tune. But yeah.
But hey, whatever works, I guess, for them, that's it. Whatever works. But yeah, it didn't get me. I heard a little bit of Just and on the show. After, but I didn't go look for the IG live where she went off, and all of that stuff. There, I was like, nah, it's just whatever. But I like what you said. I dig that 100 because that's what radio stations do. We're gonna bring her in while you go have a baby,
right.
And we, just for that amount of time. When you come back, we just gonna go back. But you go and look at a history of radio personalities, females more particular, they'll tell you that they lost their spots.
They lost their spot. And
they lost their spots.
With old girl's credentials, like she just got a new show she signed with, Charlamagne just signed her to some kind of deal where she's either going to have her own show. I mean, but she did good in that segment. She could, they was talking about how Just Hilarious couldn't read. And, old girl has a degree in the communication. She's very polished. She's very corporate. She's very.
I think the thing that pisses me off, though, sorry to cut you off, too.
No, you're right.
Because I'm listening to you and it dawned on me. The thing that pisses me off is how these radio producers, just anybody in general in the media, how they always put us up against each other. Because listen to what you just said. People's talking about how Just Hilarious can't read, but she got a degree. Those are subtle arguments that are started, and that's us against our own people. You dig what I'm saying? Instead of, because I do remember one time where Just was giving old girl her flowers for holding it down. Now, if she meant it or not, I don't know, but I do remember that she actually gave old girl some flowers for holding it down for
she said that
when she came back. You know what I'm saying? So I get tired of, I get tired of us always bringing our own down.
Right. And it's, man, and for a little bit of bread and a contract behind the scenes, we give you $30,000 more a year, and these sponsors are going to kick in, but we need to make the ratings go up. And you're going to sign right here saying that we can control the ratings. So basically, you be like, okay, cool. So you went from 110 grand and a whole bunch of sponsorships to 140 grand and more sponsorships. 9 times out of 10 for your career further, you're gonna sign that contract.
That's the same thing with Stephen A. Smith.
There you go. And what you're saying is, okay, I can get $40,000 a year, and inside the new sponsorships I'm getting is going to be acting, and then they're going to pay for the acting classes, and then Broadway. Okay, boom, I'm a sign. But when you sign, when they say boost ratings, that means put you against each other. That means less time with your family. That means more travel. You see what I'm saying? And we don't think about that stuff when we sign. Like you said, we'll get put against our brother or our sister, but we're making more money. And then
Making
after
more money.
2 years later, we fuss and won't out and real upset and not happy. You gotta, that's what you signed though. Like,
I'm for that. Yeah.
that's what you're saying.
Our personalities, the disagreement spills over to the audience, and that's mainly what I was talking about. Is now you get all of these people, because I've heard it. I have not allowed myself to indulge in it, but people, you know how we talk, man. You heard Just Hilarious, and no, I can't even think of the girl name. Them going on with each other, and then the same arguments that you just said, man. Just everybody got their opinion. Just this and she this, or she this and just not this.
Right.
But it's us. That's, you know what I'm saying? When you sit back and look, I'm black, just black, she black,
everybody
Charlamagne, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all dope and you're gifted, you're good at what you do. Everybody can eat.
Right. Everybody can eat.
And that's what
everybody can eat.
Yeah, Lauren Larissa. And that's what DJ Envy was saying. Like, look, we told you before this, and I've had to learn from this recently. Like I tell y'all, part of my testimony all the time. I had to stop reading the comments of people and the opinions of people that don't even, like, it don't even matter. And that's what Envy was telling Jess, like, bro, you dope at what you do. Stop believing most of them are bots in the comments that's saying this and that. It's just like you said, to go off your point, they'll do whatever to put us against each other because that's what people want to see. People want to see us tear each other down. That's what they want to see, man. And it's sad that they want to see that. And it's sad that we want to see that. We be the ones like, oh yeah, popcorn ready. What's going on now? When we should be like, nah, that's not the play. That's not it. We shouldn't be doing that. But I wish them all the best, man. I mean, it's, you know, they've been doing.
That's gonna be all right. Just like Rubber Band Man, she bounced back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you in the world of entertainment, you can only appreciate what they did for her because they stepped in at a good time for her, because her comedy career was free falling.
Yeah, it was kind of stalling out.
It was crashing. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, they stepped in for her and gave her something. And if she's smart, which I'm sure she is, and if she's not all that smart, not talking about it at all, but they pay people to be smarter than them around her. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The people that are around her, they should utilize, if she's no longer going to be on the Breakfast Club, they should utilize the experience that she had. It wouldn't take nothing for her, man. Just overnight. Look at G, even though she nasty, Angela Lee, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I never liked her when she was on there. I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. I never liked that chick. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Jessica, I think she, you know, her comedy is not there anymore. But like you said, she could start a podcast now and just with the mess that she'll be raking in. She can have 5,000 to 10,000 people in at the time. People will tune in and watch.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And depending on what her content is about, it'll grow quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just for the mere fact of her name, Just Hilarious, man.
Yep. So, her content, she can keep the same, just with the mess, and just her content be drama and this and that. She'll So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how did we even get there? That's cool though.
I think I said something. I don't even know. I can't even remember the way my mind set up. I showed them. That was just a few minutes ago.
Are we talking about you?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
but
yeah,
not
yeah,
said
yeah, yeah.
who's
When I
up
said,
her.
but now don't be like just with the just
There
with
you
the
go.
on back. That's what
Right,
it was.
right.
See,
Okay.
I'm
See,
glad she
she over
said
there
something.
working now. That's why she's not part of the show. She hero, but she ain't hero. So y'all probably hear her screaming in the background back there. I might ought to just turn the mic over that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Shalom, sis. Don't work too hard over there. Don't work too hard.
Yeah. Ayo says shalom, but not Juju Watkins, man. I think she tore her ACL last night, brother.
She did. She tore it. She tore it.
Yeah, that hurt my feelings. She is by far my favorite player in women's college basketball right now.
Yep.
And I was excited to see what USC was going to do with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate, man. When she tore her ACL, dude, even though they handled Mississippi State, I stopped. I became uninterested in the game.
You didn't want to watch it no more.
Yeah, I became uninterested in the game. Yeah. So
yeah. Wishing her speedy recovery, because that's going to be a full year. Well, with technology now, you're looking at surgery and then another 6 months, and then after that, a good 90 to 120 days for contact drills and rehab and stuff. So, I would say if this is April, she should be able to return mid-February next year, right before March Madness. So, hopefully they can ball out and get to the tournament, and she can come back, and that would be a great story and testimony. She can come back
really would be
to the Final Four into the championship. But yeah, Juju, man, I I hate that, because she was balling, man. She's one of my
she was, man. It's two players in college basketball. Well, it's a lot of great talent in college basketball, women's, but it's two players in particular that I'm following hard, and that's Juju and Hannah Hidalgo with Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I believe a partner of mine was talking, and I was saying, in my opinion, I believe that Hannah Hidalgo is probably the best player in college basketball, but Juju is by far the best player as far as skill set. I don't think that there's nobody that got the skill set that Juju Watkins have, man. When Juju got the ball, she looked so much like in a female form, like a Kobe or something. You know what I'm saying? She just be so in control of everything that she does at all time with that basketball, man. Her left is just as strong. Her offhand is just as strong as her right hand. It's just, it's just insane. The talent that girl have. But Hannah Hidalgo, she just a whole monster, man. And to be 5 foot nothing, she is a straight nuisance on that basketball court.
Yep, she is, bro.
Straight nuisance.
I hate to see that, man. But like I said, hopefully she can. I think it's a great testimony to come out of this. But yeah, I don't even want to watch it no more. Like you said,
not USC. I got other teams I gotta watch. Yeah, I'm not interested in USC no more. Although that forward that they got, I can't think of her name. She's a Nigerian.
Yeah,
she bad to the bone.
Yeah. She can ball. She ball.
Yeah, I'm not interested in USC anymore. I am a Juju Watkins fan, not a USC fan.
USC just ain't what it used to be, man. That USC, University of Southern California, now is University of South Carolina. That USC is
that USC, exactly. And I actually got done winning it all.
I
believe so. I think the only team, it's two teams I feel like that could test them, especially now that Juju is out. And you never know. That's why they call it March Madness. So I could be completely wrong, but I feel like LSU, Kim Mulkey and LSU girls, and Gino and UConn girls. I believe that those are the next two strongest teams that's in a tournament that have an opportunity to test Don Staley and South Carolina. But I believe that South Carolina is a little bit too deep for both of those teams, because her reserves or next 5 that come off the bench, they can start
They
anywhere
can
in the
start.
nation.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can
they
start.
can start anywhere else in the nation. Yeah.
They can start. That's the women's. The men's. What's your bracket looking like? I ain't even.
Man, my bracket got tore up day one.
And that's why I stopped doing them years ago. I'm like, man, I ain't like my team, the Tar Heels. I didn't think they would make it in. They made it in, and then they beat San Diego State by about 40 points. But then the next game, I want to say it was Ole Miss. Ole Miss
got beat.
Halftime, it was like 50 to like 29. Next thing I know, it was 64-62. I was like, wait a minute, what just happened? And just some things happen, and they head to the house. Ole Miss moves on, but
they made it in. I projected them to go pretty deep, so that was a part of my bracket getting tore up. You know what I'm saying?
Any Carolina team before, if they make it in, they normally Elite Eight, Final Four, Sweet 16. But that's why I say I was like, man. So I think Duke is a good. They got to play Arizona, which that'll be a good game. You still got Alabama. You still got Arkansas in it. Arkansas beat St. John's, which was the old rivalry. Rick Pitino that used to coach Kentucky. He's now with St. John's, and Jim Calipari that used to be at Kentucky is now with Arkansas. Well, Arkansas beat Rick Pitino and St. John's by a few points. So March Madness is here. It's just not what it used to be with the NIL deal. I'm just not interested as I normally am. So
yeah, I get that. I get that, and it's gonna progressively get worse.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, man. I seen it the other night.
Duke got a general manager.
Say what now?
Duke got a general manager.
Yeah. You'll see a lot more teams doing that. Florida State.
They the first to do it, and I know other colleges are looking at to see how it's going to work, and they're gonna have to start. So if you got a general manager now, I was telling my wife, you can't no longer call this amateur sports.
Right, it's semi-pro. Florida State football has a general manager now, so
I didn't know Florida State. I didn't know they had.
They have a general manager. That NIL transfer portal recruiting trail, the general manager, you got to know personnel, bro.
Yeah.
From each quarterback, linebackers, tight ends. So like you said, there's no more college. This is semi-pro.
This is semi-pro.
So it's just gonna get interesting next couple of years with the whole college landscape, all sports. You're gonna during 4 years see volleyball on TV all the time.
Some of this, man, they've been promoting it heavy here in Houston. Houston got
I'm telling you,
they've been promoting it.
Yeah, cause it's money. It's money now.
I like volleyball.
Me too.
I watch volleyball. Yeah,
me too.
I watch volleyball.
It's gonna get TV exposure now because of the money. The players everybody get that money is cycling. So now you'll start seeing it more on TV. So.
But with this show that we got tonight, we're gonna talk a little bit more. Like you said something a while ago. You talked about how sports gonna change in the next few years. Man, we have no idea. It's going beyond the money. How it's going to change in the next few years, and we're gonna get into some of this, man. We got some pretty interesting video reactions that we're gonna get into. This first one is a little bit, it's not too long. It's less than 4 minutes. So before we get into it, you got anything you want to say, Ayo? You ready to?
The Most High is great. We got 20 shares on Facebook Live audience. Appreciate you. YouTube Live audience. Appreciate you. In the meanwhile, we'll get Messiah TV figured out. But yeah, 20 shares on Facebook already, man. That's a blessing. We only 25 minutes in and we already got 20 shares on Facebook. So Facebook Live audience, share, like, subscribe. YouTube Live, share, like, subscribe. Get the word out. Truth Be Told Floss Podcast got the news. Please say the flex.
Right. Well, let's get to this first video. And I know a lot of people have been hearing about DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. I came across this video and it educated me, and it is worthy of talking about. So here it is. Check it out.
Nope. Yeah, Elon.
That was my guess.
So what he got? He got the Doge. What's the Doge? The Doge, this ain't the first time a Doge existed. The Doge was a position in a oligarch society in ancient Venice. It lasted for 1100 years. Napoleon Bonaparte is the reason that it fell. But the governing class at that time, the elites, would position somebody as the Doge for that society to do things that they normally couldn't do. Right? So now he looked at their blueprint all them thousands of years ago and said, well, I'm going to become the Doge in today's time. Right? I need to do things that politicians can't do. Donald Trump is the president. I'm going to be the Doge. They created it as an acronym, Department of Government Efficiency.
Right.
But Doges had lasted for hundreds of years. Right? At a certain point in time, they just became symbolic power. Right? This person that we use to kind of scapegoat that's doing things. And behind the scenes, you got this shadow government that's running these plays. But right now, he's the Doge of America.
But essentially, he's still the USA AID.
Well, all of that shit that's just smoke and mirrors. Right? You want to go after the real players. They are running the first 100-day play of the, what's the thing that all the Democrats was mad? The Project 2025. Their playbook is out there. Right? They tell you everything that they go do. They just push the bill to protect Christians, right, from Christian bias, right? Like they run in every play that they said, Christian nationalism. So when you look at that, Elon Musk is unchecked power, right? The politicians don't know how to deal with him because they have created them a Doge. They said, we're going to give this man power to rule and do things, cut the government. They're trying to stop him from getting the treasury books because he's not even doing it himself. He got algorithms and machines that's going in there and cutting things. And he's saying this out loud, right? And his plan is very obvious. But instead of the people looking at Elon Musk and saying, man, he's an elite that's controlling things, Elon Musk get out there and points at other elites so you don't look at him. So now he's smart enough to play the game, but he's about transhumanism. He ain't about no Christianity. So you get people like Candace Owens that be like, man, I don't think this dude is with us. I think he's playing the game. He want to put brain chips in everybody. He controls satellites, right, and algorithms. Right. And he controls this picture of the world and he goes on there and he sparks nationalism, telling them make Europe great again. Right. And then he got all his buddies gaslighting the South Africans out there and trying to make them feel like they doing something corrupt because they trying to get their land back. He uniting all these white people. Right. Under this guise to say, nigga, he's been telling people we're not having enough babies. We're about to be minorities. That's what he's been pushing. Right. He's not talking about the whole world. Africa having a lot of babies. The Asians having a lot of babies. He's saying white people are not having enough babies. Right? So that puts a fear of annihilation. That means that we're in an emergency time. How do we get more power? Right? We need more power. And if we're going to be a minority in this time, then it's not going to be based on our numbers. So let's have robots. Let's replace the brain power with AI power. We don't need niggas no more. We don't need people no more, right? At first, it's going to feel like a convenience. You go consent to it. You're like, it's making my life better. And then you're going to realize it's just controlling your life. So that's why I say today, they're not going to do a physical war against you. They're going to get you to consent to it.
Brother was dropping some gems.
Yeah, 19 keys.
Yeah. The things that he was saying on the back end of that, I agree 100% because these are things that I've already been saying, right?
Yep.
You can tell the times is shifting, yo.
Yep.
We are for real. I was talking to my wife and my kids about this. We are for real living in a generation right now where we can physically see the reset is happening in front of us in broad daylight, and many is not seeing it because they're too interested in just hilarious or these other things, these other distractions that are out there, right? The government as we have known it in the past, those days are over. What I did not know and what I got educated on was the Doge. And this is, let's start this conversation there, because I'm asking you, is Doge, in your opinion, from what he said, do you look at Doge as a department of the government, or is it a title? Or is it a title that Elon is really wearing? Because when we step away and stop researching history, learning of past antiquity, because what does it say? If you don't learn from history, doomed to repeat itself, right? And I'd never heard of a Doge before. I've heard of a king's hand, and that's exactly what it sounds like. But the title Doge, is it a department of government efficiency, or did they put that on us to keep us from going to research to find out that Doge is really a title, and is Elon Musk the Doge?
Yeah.
How you feel about that?
So my take on that is, you just said something. You said, if you don't learn from history, it will repeat itself and we'll be in the same trap. You heard what he was saying. This was the play in ancient Rome, the Vatican, or Venice, Italy.
Right.
The Holy Roman Empire, man. You was talking about this behind backstage before we came on. It is so the Department of Government Efficiency, they put department on it because with department on it, it becomes a part of the government and you can get the funding. Department of Defense. What do they have? They have a Treasury and a Secretary of Defense. You see what I'm saying? Department of Justice. They have a Treasury, a head Chief Justice, and they have different, just like the Doge. So the Doge it's a title, and it's the Holy Roman Empire trying to resurrect itself because they're falling. You see what I'm saying? He said, just like everybody knows Constantine, where you heard about Constantine and Caesar Augustus, Caesar of Rome, all the different Caesars. But behind the scenes, who was calling the shots? The Pope. So it's the same play. The president is the figurehead. He's out front. Then you got the vice president. Well, there is no coincidence that the Pope has been in the hospital since this election. And then there is no coincidence that you're starting to hear rumors about JD Vance and Elon Musk not getting along. You know why? Because Elon is the Doge. What he's saying, let me bring in a team of 15 young white boys, white nationalists that just graduated from MIT and Duke and Notre Dame, and I'm going to fire 1,500. I'm going to have them to meet with 1,500 people, and we're going to fire them. But I'm going to pay them the same money I was paying all the 1,500 people. Because to the people, they saying yes. Because guess what? Conservative principles, and I've been there, are what? Smaller government. So you're making what? Government efficient again. Now with the again on it, we could say Biden and his administration was the boogeyman, and we're the right hand, they're the left hand, we're making it right. That's how it looks on the forefront. But it's really, like you said, this transhumanism thing, this this robot thing, and it goes back. It just didn't start now. And I'm gonna finish up my point. But here's my point. If you look at Matthew 3:7, what did Hamashiach say? This has been the play the whole time. He said, but when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his immersion, he said unto them, what? O generation of vipers, who hath warned you to flee from wrath to come? Meaning, this didn't start today. This was back then. He was already telling them, you a generation. This started with you. This started with your pappy, your mammy, their pappy, their mammy. This has been the play for a long time. So now, basically what 19 Keys is saying, and basically what the Ark is asking, we're at the end game. Like, this is literally it. And Mashiach told him, bro, this has been going, y'all, you a generation of vipers. Meaning he was telling me this, y'all ain't smart. This didn't start. And that's what 19 Keys is saying. He's like, man, this has been the play the whole time. Make a figurehead, put him out front, have him a scapegoat, everybody pointing at Donald Trump the whole time. Elon Musk is making all the moves, getting all the money, getting all the funding. Why do you think they want the books on the Treasury? They want the money. because now we don't need Ukraine for minerals. We could just buy it. We could just pay China to get it from Africa. Since Africa don't want us, Elon Musk is like, all right, I'll just get 10 investors with $3 million apiece, plus the money from the treasury. Now we got $500 million to offer China, get them 200 of it, and they keep the other 300. Now they can give Africa or Nigeria or one Congo 10 million for us to get a 5-year supply of minerals. And I can make my 30 million robots. That's what this thing is all about. And like he said, the offer is, oh, this is good. Now we got something from the government. We can take us to people. But in 5 years, will you be saying that? You were offered now, like you said, it's the fear of annihilation. They are scared they're going to be taken out. No more white babies being born. So they offer you AI intelligence to do that. But in 5 years, will you be saying the same thing? So yeah, it is a title. They put department on it to get funding. But Elon Musk is the Doge, to answer your question. He the Doge.
He is the Doge. And you said something that people will point at Trump and say he's the bad guy, but it's not just Trump, it's the whole government as a whole.
Right.
What we're seeing, and I think I noticed this maybe a few weeks ago, what we're seeing right now with this administration, and this actually started back with the Biden administration, because they're doing the exact same thing. They just doing it differently. What we're seeing is that they're doing everything that they can to get us, the people, in a sense of where we have absolutely no trust whatsoever in the government, and they're doing this purposely.
Right.
Like I said earlier, politics, the way it has been ran in the past, those days are over. We're not going to see old politicians like Biden and Trump and the Kennedys and stuff like this. Your new politicians are going to look a whole lot like Elon Musk and so forth on. Why? Because this is the way that the world is moving. There was a spirit back in the days of Nimrod when everybody decided to build a tower. The Bible said that they was all in one language. The people was one, right?
Right.
The Most High never intended for it to be like that. You go back into your Jubilees, when you go back into your Jashers, you will see that every son of Noah had an allotted land that they were supposed to go to, but they didn't want to do that. A lot of them stayed together in one place, and then they decided that they was going to build a tower and have it to reach the heavens, and they was all one. And so the Most High had to come down. He had to disperse them, change up the languages so that they could not understand. And according to whatever language you understood, all of y'all went to where you were supposed to go to. Well, that same spirit has still been in the world, and it's in the world now. And it was in the world during the time of the Maccabees with Antiochus, when he said, and this was in chapter 1, he said, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to the whole kingdom that all should be one people, God, one people, and everyone should leave his law. So that all the heathens agreed according to the commandments of the king. And it says that many also of the Israelites consented to his religion as well. And that's where we at right now. Look, I don't care if I can't understand Russian. It don't matter. This right here makes us one.
Right.
It don't matter if I can understand Japanese or Chinese. This right here, meaning the technology, it makes us one. And so you got people like Elon Musk, and we're going to talk more about transhumanism tonight. You're right. They put the Department of on there so that they could get the funding, but it was no accident that they says government efficiency to make it read out as Doge, because he is the Doge, and they don't be expecting people to go and research and find out. Myself, I probably wouldn't have found that out on my own because I never heard of it, right? But because I stay researching stuff, I'm gonna come across somebody who has and who does, right? Which was you know what I'm saying? Exactly. And then I went to go read it, and I was like, this is what it is, because before I knew that, I was already saying, and I believe it's some episodes where I was saying, yo, Elon got unchecked power. I wasn't saying it in those words, but I was saying Elon is doing what he want to do.
He wants to do.
You were saying that Elon and Vance is not getting along. Well, I'm gonna go as far as to say that Elon, Vance, and Trump is not getting along with Elon as well. Right. They want to give you the illusion in front of the camera that Trump and Elon is on the same page, but they're not. So what this makes me understand as well, Aki, is that Elon was not Trump's choice. He wasn't the one to say, yo, we gonna bring Elon in and set him up as the head of department of. Trump got a boss as well. And America got to move according to how the world is moving. And that's what the boss of the president does. And what they do is make decisions to put people into positions to make sure that we're going in that direction. What do we say? America is a corporation. It's not a country.
Right.
And at the company that I work at, bruh, the people that's above us, where I work at, they here today and gone tomorrow.
Right. Absolutely.
Because the company as a whole has decided to go a new direction. Mm-hmm. And that's what Elon is. Elon and that position of the Doge, what he's doing, he is setting up power for people that are like him.
Right. Non-politicians. They just
non-politicians.
Tony Stark's, when he was outside of that Iron Man suit, and look at all the Avengers, the Civil War, where there's no coincidence that they were talking about let's sign the Abraham Accords, right? The Abraham Accords. That was some type of defense. And Tony Stark's was the spearhead. Captain America was like, nah, we ain't signing it. Because when we sign it, I know what we're signing up for. We're signing up for to get ready for war. And this is where T'Challa and Tanaka, that's where they came in at, because his dad was he was a casualty of war. So with that being said, what's happening is, like you were saying, we have the illusion of thinking they're against each other, but it's not really that. Tony Stark's was the embodiment of defense technology.
Right.
Let's make things more efficient. Instead of 1 million soldiers, we could just have 30,000 bad mamma jammas with all this technology to fly in these impenetrable suits, and we can beat anybody. And Captain America was like, nah. So Tony Stark's was the Doge.
He was the Doge, exactly. Because what the Doge need is the Doge, in order for the Doge to do what it is that he does, he have to have unchecked power. He have to be able to go get his money from wherever he could get his money from. And when you look at the way that the world is moving right now with this technology, and this sure got ramped up in 2020 with the COVID, people. That was the beginning of it. Shut down. I was just talking to my wife about it. Do y'all remember the days when Walmart used to stay open 24 hours? Find me one to stay open 24 hours now. They can't. Even if they wanted to, they can't, because they can't compete with Amazon. When did Amazon become the Amazon that we know of today in 2020 during COVID? When they made you stay in your house, they forced you to start shopping online, whether you wanted to or not. Right. See? So they started forcing this technical world on us. They forced people to work from home, whether you wanted to or not. They force you to learn technology and whether you want. So now we're here, and this is what's going to happen. And so you hear people talking about, and I agree with it too, to an extent that, it's especially like Social Security. Ain't nobody 340 some years old. So that was a good find that the Doge found, that somebody is collecting money at 340 some years old. Well, where is that money going? Because we know ain't nobody 340 some years old, right? Yeah. So we know that department is corrupt. But the more that they find, what that does, though, is that causes people to have less and less trust of the government. And that's what they want. Because when it get to a point where they like, look, the hell with the government altogether, guess what now? Then a new whole regime can flip the table, and they can be like, look, hey, we here. Technology, AI, bots, all of these things, nanotechnology, and they got the generation to do it because, bro, you got youngsters now. This is what they're all over with. They all over. They ain't listening to no Bernie Sanders. They're not listening to no. You know what I'm saying? They not listening.
No.
They not listening to that. They don't even hear that.
They'll listen to the Doge. Just say if Elon Musk come out this weekend and say, I got incriminating evidence against Donald Trump and JD Vance right now trying to take me under, instead of coming out and being truthful with the American people, who do you think is going to be the Avengers all over? They'll believe Tony Stark's or the Doge over. And like what I said, Trump will be the last American president, and now you have the Doge and his team. That'll be it. It won't be no more government. It won't be no more. Exactly. People making all the decisions worldwide. They're gonna make. That's when the new world. That's the new world order. That's the great reset. Resetting from traditional things.
And we are witnessing it.
It's right before our very eyes.
In real time.
Right before our very. Because the play is like you just said. Elon will be like, "Oh yeah, well we found so many thousand accounts from people that was 200 years old getting Social Security, but you can't believe this started at Joe Biden and Donald Trump. This goes way back. So why trust the government?
Way back.
That's all he.
So why bring it up now? Right.
Why now? And do you know how many American people will believe him? They'll be like, "Yeah, Donald Trump, you said it's Biden's fault, but it's been before Biden. It's been before Lyndon Johnson. It's been before George Washington. Who done this?" Then, like 19 Kings is saying, it goes back to the Holy Roman Empire, 2000 years. That's why Mashiach said, y'all been doing this for a long time.
For a long time. And when you look at a lot of the departments that he is exposing, these are departments that would generally put his companies in check. That would, you know what I'm saying? And so he's going, so in other words, look, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this. So you cut these out. Now he got free reign to do whatever it is that he want to do.
Yep. And if he makes
to do it how he want to do it.
Right. Because if, like you're saying, if he makes a couple decisions that look right and stick, it'll become easy. It'll be like trim government efficiency. Well, part of the government is the president, the vice president, and his cabinet. People will cry. People will march the streets and say, Donald Trump, vice president, you're no longer needed. Cabinet, you're no longer needed. All we need
exactly.
Is so to keep trimming this funding and finding this funding and make the government efficient. You're no longer needed. That's all it takes. Just like that.
Yeah, we are for real looking. We have never seen anything. This dude here did not have to sit in front of a Senate and get what do they call it? What do they call it when they got to sit in front of the Senate?
It's not certified, but shoot, you're gonna make me look it up now.
Yeah, confirmed. Is it confirmed? Yeah. He didn't have to. I mean, you know, it's just when Donald Trump came in, he came in too. And the nerve of that reporter asking Zelensky, where's your suit? When this dude was in the Oval Office with a 3-year-old, 5-year-old kid hanging all off of his neck, blowing his nose and you know what I'm
digging
saying?
in the nose and everything. It's like what just happened? It's like it was like a dream.
But you know who can relate to that look? Youngsters. Yeah. Youngsters can relate to that look.
You're right. They can. You're right. Absolutely. And that's who's
you relate to that look. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then Elon Musk, man, say, man,
it's about to get
real now.
We've been saying it for a little minute, but we here. We've been telling you to prepare. It is here. They talking about April 5th, a whole 50 states, 1 million white folks marching. When it was last time you seen 1 million white folks marching?
That's kind of scary.
That's I'm telling you. It's scary, yo. That's crazy. 1 million white folks? All right.
1 million white people marching
to the streets, bro. This thing,
this
thing is real, bro. It's about to get real. And black folks, sit it out. This ain't your fight. This ain't your fight.
It's Transhumanism, man. I don't know if our people have been paying attention to transhumanism or not. Let's get a definition of transhumanism. It is a philosophical. Let me see if I can pull that up. Hold on. There it is. Transhumanism is a philosophical and scientific movement that advocates the use of current and emerging technologies to augment human capabilities and improve the human condition. It is a class of philosophies of life that seek the continuation and acceleration of the evolution of the intelligent life beyond its currently human form and human limitations by means of science and technology. They're going to be saying, after a while, Sheer can't read.
Oh man, you crazy for that, boy.
Sheer can't read.
You can read. You can read.
Nah, I'm just
Oh
tripping.
my god, boy, you stupid. Just hilarious. Okay.
Transhumanism is real, people.
Yes.
Sheer hilarious.
You're hilarious.
Got
That's
jokes.
your name from now on. You're hilarious.
Sheer hilarious. Transhumanism is real. I hate that so many of our people for real are so consumed with this world that they're not being able to see what it is to be talking about. I'm leaving that definition up a little bit long in case the people want to look at it right. But yeah, man, we've been watching these movies for a long time, like Terminator. You know, the Cyborg, and I remember when it first came out, the first Terminator, that looked so futuristic, and you know that there's no way, nothing in my mind ever thought that something like that could be real. It was just a movie then when I watched it, right?
Universal Soldier, all that.
All of that. And this is what Elon Musk is about, people. This is your Doge. This is who your Doge is, and this is how your Doge think. Who do you say old boy was? What's his name? K what?
19 Keys. You talking about the
19 Keys? Okay, then 19 Keys told you the truth when he said Elon don't care about people. He don't. People is not making him enough money. And it's harder to control people, and it's easier to control bots and AI. And if I can turn people into bots, then it'll be easier for me to control them as well, right? And so Elon is on the forefront of this transhumanism movement, and they always come to people in a way of, it's going to be useful. It's going to be helpful. So who do they start it with? People who got injuries, war veterans who may have a leg blown off, you know, or whole side of his head done been peeled back. So we got the technology now to give you a leg, and not only a leg, Ayo, we can give you a leg that's better than the leg that you had. We know the side of your head is peeled back, but yo, we can fix that, and we can give you a download and make you a genius overnight.
Man, if somebody go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say this is where we at.
If somebody could tell you that we can make you not only an artificial leg, it's going to be like your leg never left. Also, there is a Neuralink in your brain that the seed we put in your leg and in your brain, they're going to ultimately over time grow through your body and gather all the information you ever knew, and along with the information that's in this Neuralink, twist everything together and enhance your body for the rest of your life, or you could live another 200 years. somebody with their leg blown off and PTSD, you mean my PTSD will be gone? You mean the seed and the neural link you put inside me is going to connect and gather all the information from the time before I was born to now, and it'll be like I read 1,000,000 books and I have my leg back stronger? Who gonna turn that down?
Who not gonna sign up for that?
Who not gonna sign up for that?
Who not gonna sign up for that? And this is the problem when we move so far away from the Most High that don't look deceptive and bad, but it looks good. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, because that, my friend, is evil. And so many people are going to call it good, and they're going to be telling us that we crazy when we telling them that they crazy for signing up for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
How many Israelites going to accept that and say it's the fountain of youth is what we've been praying for? How many? You don't be don't. It ain't too hard to think. How you think 2/3 will come about?
There you go.
They cloned Tyrone. Daniel Jamil said they cloned Tyrone. Yameh said Daniel 2:43. Cry loud. Sister Charmaine said $6 million man, a bionic woman. They've been telling us this forever.
They've been telling us this for years.
Years.
The thing with them and their game is that they slow with it. I don't know if y'all know I talk chess all the time, so forgive me, but I don't know if y'all have ever just watched a chess game. It's not a fast game at all. One chess game could last over an hour.
Yeah, it's slow and methodic. It's a build up.
It's slow and what?
Methodic. It's a
what? You said another word. It's
a build up.
It's exactly what it is.
You know the
hardest part of the chess game? The hardest part of the chess game is the end game. You got a beginning, you got a middle, and you got an end game.
Come on.
And the end game is the hardest part of the game. And you would think that it's the easiest part because by the time you get to the end game, you ain't got that many pieces on the board. Ooh. All you got is maybe a couple of pawns. If you lucky, you still got your queen. You may got you a bishop or a knight. That's all you got. But you got an objective, which is to close the deal and capture the king. That is the hardest part of the game. And that's where we at right now.
That's where we at.
We in the end game.
The true wheats and tares, man.
That's where we at.
And with this infusion, with this transhumanism, that's why Matthew 13, 30, let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, the end game, I will say to the reapers or the Malachim, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. That's why the Malach is going to have to discern. Because with the naked eye, you ain't going to be able to tell the difference. It's going to be that. The Hasatan has dialed this thing in to that point. You really going to have the Ruach HaKodesh, the set apart Ruach. For real.
Why do you think that Hamashiach said that he got to cut this thing short? Because if he didn't, even the very elect wouldn't even be able to make it.
That's
people like Elon Musk, man. I'm finna tell you, he's reptilian, people. Yeah. He is a part of the wicked that is in control of the earth. He has a mission. He is being led by God. You think that Elon Musk is this smart on his own? No. How often do we tell y'all on this show that these people pray and sacrifice to their gods and their gods reward them?
Fallen angels, man.
And we see they reward here in earth. What did the Mashiach say? The rich got their reward here on earth, right? We see their rewards here on earth.
Yep.
Just think if we was faithful and praise our power, the way that they are faithful to their power.
Right. I was just about to say, cause just like what did the Most High tell them in Genesis 1? He created them, not formed them. He created them and told them what? Go subdue the earth.
That's right.
They disobeyed, wanted it all for themselves, failed, got locked up in Tartarus. Now the demonic entities, their children, guess what Hasatan is telling them to do? Go subdue the earth.
We're gonna talk about that too tonight.
You failed the first time with the creator. Now I'm telling you to do it. Go do it. Go subdue. And look what's happening.
Look what's happening.
They trying
Hey
to subdue
man,
all
I
the
think
things
one of the coldest movies ever is I, Robot.
And that went over a lot of people's heads, Doc. It was. That movie went. They just looked at it as entertainment, but that movie was deep.
I install these things called Google products in people's houses.
Call them what? What they call them up?
They call Google products.
Oh wow.
Google.
Okay. Wow.
And say for instance, let's say that this right here is a Google camera, right? Mm-hmm. And you buy this Google camera for $169, $200 or whatever, right? Google is not concerned about you buying this camera. They could care less about this camera and you buying it. It's when you get home and try to hook this thing up.
Come on.
The amount of information that you gotta give up just to get this thing to work. See.
Come on, man.
That's what they interested in.
You gotta put in your
that camera is a Trojan horse.
Man, you so right. I ain't never realized
the amount of information that you got to put in to get that thing to work. That's what they want.
You got to make a username, password, email, backup phone number, what they always say, make a recovery email, a recovery number, just in case some. Wow, I never really thought about it like that. Wow,
they care less about them cameras. They had to figure out a way to get you, and this is why Antiochus and Nimrod had the spirit of let's be one. Yep. See? And what did Antiochus say? Whatever laws you had, denounce them. And that's what people are doing. They are denouncing them in the name of technology and not even knowing it. I can't tell you how many apps I have downloaded on my phone, and then when they got to asking too many questions, I'll be man at the head with it. I don't even want it.
I only want it. I only want it. But you can't even log into Facebook. It's like through StreamYard. To add my Facebook profile to stream from stream to stream, I had to put in my Facebook information. And it wanted my username and password. I couldn't just get in there.
Right.
So it says this is how AI identifies you, Tari and Butler. This is how we identify and know it's you. And then
they ask you if you're not a robot.
And you click that thing, it's saying, okay, thank you. Even though you think it's simple of just, okay, good, I'm in. By you clicking this is saying you got a pair of eyeballs and you could direct your finger directly to the square. And we know you are human. So you just told us that everything you put in was accurate. That's basically what that is.
What that is.
Confirm everything. You just.
I was a robot asking me, am I a robot?
Dang, boy. Curse is alive. Wow. That's wild.
Let's look at this next video, man. Elon Musk of transhumanism. Check it out, y'all.
To me, it seemed like one of the things that pulled Elon Musk into the conservative coalition was that while he's certainly not a religious conservative, but he is a kind of weirdo humanist, right? He likes the human race. He wants the human race to continue.
Oh, no, stop.
No, okay.
Stop,
so you don't see. To me, it seems like Musk is in one group.
Musk is
just as transhumanist as the rest of them.
No, since Edison, maybe our greatest applied engineer.
Okay,
he is a genius in that level. Agreed. And so he looks at the thing as all kind of mathematical equations and from engineering in a big brain. When he puts on something, he can solve it. He is the most prominent of that crowd that's warned against artificial intelligence and artificial general intelligence. It's one of the reasons he and the Altman at OpenAI have had so many big fights. Besides
not big fans of each other. Yep.
They hate each other. I mean, and part of that's personal, but part of it is philosophical. And Brother Musk is probably the farthest down the line because he's the most advanced in chipping. So I think Neuralink is one of the most aggressive about Homo sapien 1.0 or Homo sapien 2.0. Elon is at the tip of this, and Elon is actually on an applied engineering basis, not bullshit talk. He is probably the farthest advanced for transhumanism. People have to understand in the life, and I say life, next 10 years of your audience, we're going to be facing a dilemma for yourself and your kids. Do you enhance yourself? Do you enhance yourself either by genetic engineering? Do you enhance yourself by advanced chip design plugged into you? Do you advance yourself by artificial intelligence? Elon's one of the top accelerationists about driving this thing faster at accelerating at an increasing rate. You're going to have to make a choice in your own life, not just politically in society, your own life. Do I do this? Am I a Luddite? Will I get left behind? More importantly, will my children get left behind? Do my children have a shot to really play sports in a Division I level? Or do my kids have a ability to go to an Ivy League school unless I get them enhanced? These questions, deep questions, never before handled in mankind's history, are going to happen and going to happen in the next couple of years.
Boy, Steve Bannon looked like the Quaker Oats man, and Roseanne Barr had a baby. God, oh, boy. Man. But he right.
So, he said something about he's trying to do this in record time and speed time. There's a reason why, because he know that time is short. You and I was talking, and bro, you said something earlier this week, man, that just like in my head. Like I said, that's it.
Yep.
We be reading Daniel chapter 7, and we know that last kingdom on that statue, it said iron mixed with clay. We talking transhumanism, people.
Yep.
It said iron mixed with clay. Check this picture out. Tell me how many of y'all remember this. Remember this right here. Look at this picture. One, is this the one? Yep, that's it. Look at that. It don't get no clearer than that. This was in 1984. It don't get no clearer than that.
You see
what is that hand made of? What's wrapped around that iron? Flesh, clay, human clay, flesh. That was the last beast. Could Daniel, could the Bible, could the Most High be telling us in the last days, AI, technology, people like Elon Musk, transhumanism, people who are promising you a better life to live forever, never being sick, being able to run at 100 miles an hour and jump 60 and 80 feet into the air. People is going to be promising you that. And then, boom, it got hit by the stone that was cut out without hands. Because you're going too far.
Going too far.
You're doing too much. As my wife used to say, you being strawberry orange.
Strawberry orange. That's wild.
Iron mixed with clay.
Iron mixed with clay. But listen, they're gonna need there's one. You hear what Steve Bannon said. Listen, you hear what he was saying. He was saying words like left behind and world, your audience now. He's talking about the young 19 and 20, 21-year-olds or children, our children that our children's age between 18 and 24, 25, 26. In 10 years, they'll be 36 through 28 to 36, right? Between if they're 18 and 26 now, 8 years, that'd be 36 and under. So what are they going to do when our bodies, the true anointed ones of the children of the Father, change naturally because of the Ruach and being yoked with Hamashiach, having the blood of the Father, the blood of Hamashiach, like naturally in us, and with his spirit, his Ruach, change, and we already dunking basketballs at 7 foot and 6'2" and running touchdowns 4-5. We already doing that stuff. So he's saying, are we going to be, we're going to have to make a decision as a nation. We already not having babies, like we said before.
Right.
We already getting beat on the basketball, the football, every sport. We getting left behind.
There you go.
He said we're gonna have He wasn't talking about this audience. Is what I'm saying.
There you go.
He was talking about was them folks, and he's saying we're gonna have to make a decision. If you go back to Acts 8, and I'm gonna finish Acts 8. Simon the sorcerer, he wanted to buy what he thought he had once he saw Peter and John. Now he was in Samaria. He was a Samaritan. He was doing magic. He was doing signs and wonders, but wicked. But the people believed him till he saw what Philip was doing. He got immersed. He started believing. He started hanging around. Let me see what this is about. Let me see what's going on, because I like this. Just like how Elvis Presley started doing Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder. I see what I'm doing, but I like what they're doing better. It's something different about it. Let me start hanging around. Peter and John was in Jerusalem. They heard about it. Was like, wait a minute. People in Samaria getting believed? Nah, let's go see about this. Once they got there and started laying hands and the fire of the Ruach HaKodesh was being, Simon was like, wait a minute. What I saw Philip was doing was one thing, but this is crazy. I want to buy it. They was like, bro, you can't buy this. So what y'all think the end game
I can't
is?
sell it.
We can't sell it to you. It can't be bought. You got to be born with this thing. You got to be born with this thing. And I'm telling you, this is the end game. This is the last offer. They're going to make these robots and they're going to be like, man, this is great. The new golden age of man, but we're missing something. And the Israelites, they got it. How can we get that fire of the Ruach, that blood that y'all got? How can we get it? That's the one thing we're missing to take this thing to change the game completely and really bring the end game.
And this is where we get, and this is why it's going to get short too, because they have the technology to do this here, right? It's here. But the Most High is not going to allow them to continue to go all the way through with this thing, man. There is absolutely no way. You know what I'm saying? That he can. Now, we know that the earth was given to the hand of the wicked, and these are the things that the wicked has always been trying to do. Science has been their God because they can't create. They can't make life grow out of the soil. They can't create an animal. You know what I'm saying? They can't create a man and make it live. They can't do what the Most High can do, but what they can do is give you artificial intelligence. They have the technology to do that. And this is what they're trying to do.
What'd you just say? The A word? They have the technology, but it's what? Artificial.
It's artificial. Exactly. They have the ability to do that. And this is what they do. And they messing up with they giving you artificial food. They giving you artificial medicines. They giving you artificial intelligence. And look at when you go back to the definition of transhumanism, it said it is check this out, man. I'm gonna pull it back up right quick.
Pull it up. Go ahead. Take your time.
I'll pull it back up right quick. This is what's in the heart of these people. Where is it at? There it is right there. This is what's in the heart of these people. They hate our power. You go back and read Psalms 83, man. They are at alt with the Most High, but they can't touch them. So they dealing with us. They dealing with the ones that they can reach out and touch. This thing said transhumanism is a philosophical and scientific movement that advocate the use of current emerging technologies to augment human capabilities. And look at this word right here, improve the human conditions. Now, the last time I read in Genesis on day 6, when he created man, after he had created man and everything else, his word was, it is good. Now, when my power say it's good, I don't think that it needs any improvement.
Augmentation.
Who told Elon that I needed to be improved?
Right.
Who told these transhuman folks that we needed to be improved? This is what making this thing evil. You dig what I'm saying?
Yep. See?
And we was talking about sports, how it's going to change. You heard what the dude was saying. Look, these people are about to go into a whole nother realm.
Whole nother realm. In my
When you
father's
have
house.
athletes like you and I, normal people, just because of our human DNA genetic makeup, was able to do the things that we can do? No. What did Captain America say in this new Captain America? I should have took the serum. You know, the black Captain America didn't take the serum. The white Captain America did. He was a superhero. He was a super soldier.
Yep.
He said, you're going to have students coming out of school making a decision, or check this out, you're going to have parents bringing babies in this world already juiced up.
Right.
So when you looking at basketball now, you ain't going to be looking at athletes like Ant-Man or Shaq or you see what we're going to be looking at super athletes.
Super athletes, because they see it's all about the ancient past. They know what happened then and all the way to now. They know what Judah, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, they know what they look like. They know that was Shaq, Zion Williamson, LeBron James. They know them boys are 6'7", 300 pounds muscle and could jump walls. So they say, man, that's what you just say. If history repeats itself, it's going to repeat itself, and in a cycle if we don't know how to beat it. So now they're on that play. Look, boy, these 12 tribes, them boys beat out the city of Shechem by themselves. This is going to happen again if we're not smart about what these Israelites are going to be able to do. So we got to not just match them, we got to be better. So we got to take this serum and make our bodies superhuman. But what they don't understand, like you just said, when we call on our power, ours is going to be supernatural. Now you can see how the words make sense. Supernatural. It's
natural, not artificial. Natural, not artificial. Look,
there you go.
Judah yet out a yell.
A scream.
His brother Joseph.
Yeah, he did. Jasher. Read it in Jasher. It's there, man.
Go read it in Jasher.
It's terrible. When I read that, I was like, I just looked. I just stared. That's our.
And you think these people don't read Jasher? I told y'all, go find the old clip of Eddie Murphy before Eddie Murphy was Eddie Murphy in an old stand-up, in an old hole in the wall comedy club, and he was giving a stand-up off of a part of Jasher about Abraham when he burnt his lips with the coal.
Yep.
These folks read these books.
Yeah, they know.
Meaning that these folks know who we are. They know who we come from. They know what our DNA is. This is why they are so busy trying to change our DNA. And they know 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and 52, too, where it says 51, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed.
Come on.
In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, in the last trump, for that trumpet shall sound and the dead shall rise incorruptible.
And we still trying to figure it out. But guess what? Every mystery, whether Scooby-Doo, Hardy Boy mystery, every mystery is not solved until what? The very end.
The very end.
We got to be patient.
The very end.
Saints. I'm telling you.
Look,
it's not going to be revealed now. Not just yet.
Look, say, man, we are in that iron mixed with clay right now, people.
We're here. This is what we have. This is what we have.
And this is a continuation of the first video, because this here even proves more what we were saying, that the way the world has been ran with politicians of the past is not going to be. There's no politician alive right now that could usher this thing in what it is that's happening right now. Only people like Elon Musk can do stuff like this, sir. That's it. That's why he's there. And who been quiet for so long? You ain't heard nothing of Mark Zuckerberg. You don't need to hear from these people. Why? Because they got Elon.
They got Elon. Look at the character of the dude in Transformers when he was making that black mist. He was the dog,
Right.
the bald headed guy with the glasses.
Right.
They put this stuff in these movies and we just look at it as a lot of us look, but it's a handful of us that's be like, I know what they talking about. I see what's going on.
Yeah. It's a real interesting time that we living in. Real interesting time. Do you have a beyond critical race theory for tonight?
I do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do. I do.
You do?
I do. Yeah. Oh, well, y'all heard me talking a little while ago about this whole April 5th million, this march. And if you go online, go on YouTube, and this kind of correlates with what we're talking about tonight. It's crazy how this happened. All praise to the Most High. Most of us, basically 99.9% of us, is like, look, this is not our fight. We sitting this one out. Y'all go ahead and march. Go ahead. Y'all got it. We try to tell you this is coming. Y'all hard-headed, don't want to listen. It's here. Now you want black folks, so-called black folks, to march. We done with it. So go ahead. So I wanted to bring this out because it's a on this day type deal, what we've done before beyond for the Beyond Critical Race Theory and Beyond Critical Race Facts, because we're at a juncture now where this happened. But now, from what I understand today, the Donald Trump banning segregation has been revoked. But what people don't understand, the whole segregation, that was not the segregation ban of 64. It's not a executive order. It's an actual law. So he couldn't have banned it if he wanted to. But I wanted to bring this out because, again, this is in comparison to what was happening then, what's happening now, and it's now we're starting to find out segregation or integration was just not the move. So here we go. And I know how we feel about Martin Luther King. You know, we have mixed feelings and mixed evaluations, but I'm going to read this and I'm going to come back with my commentary. 6 years ago today, well, Friday, March 21st, 1965, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. led thousands of people on a 54-mile march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. March 21st, 1965, Martin Luther King Jr. leads 3,200 people on the start of the third and finally successful civil rights march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. Selma to Montgomery, Alabama occurred when 3,200 civil rights demonstrators began a march from Selma, Alabama to Montgomery, Alabama to protest discriminatory voting laws. The march came 2 weeks after the so-called Bloody Sunday, when peaceful marchers in Selma were attacked by state and local police. Over the course of 5 days, many of the demonstrators walked 54 miles to Montgomery. They slept in tents at night and continued the march through rain on the third day. By the time the march reached Montgomery, there were 25,000 people in the crowd. When they reached the Capitol, they presented a petition reading, "We have come not only 5 days and 50 miles, but we have come from 3 centuries of suffering and hardship. We have come to you, the governor of Alabama, to declare that we must have our freedom now. We must have the right to vote. We must have equal protection under the law and an end to police brutality." King delivered a speech from the steps of the Capitol. Here's a quote from that speech. "The end we seek is a society at peace with itself, a society that can live with its conscience," he declared. "And that will be a day not of the white man, not of the black man. That will be the day a man is a man." Now, here's my commentary. Look where we are today. 2025, and the sitting president and the administration wants to bring back segregation. Let's make America great again by keeping them away. Let's isolate them and see if they will march again. So everyone else will march along with us and get recognized over us, as they always do, from what they wanted and more, only to look back at us to yell at us and tell us, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, even though we led the marches. And then they joined in after. And then the ones that joined in after, we became the foundation and the roots of the march. They got what they wanted, whether it was white, women, LGBTQ. And then when we complained that we didn't get anything from us marching, they tell us, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. It's a different day and time. And with that being said, I turn it back to Cher and I say, segregation then, segregation now, and segregation forever. Y'all gonna get sick of y'all own potato salad trying to segregate from us. So yeah, that's the day. March 21st, 1965. And look what we are.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I've never been a fan of integration, and when I saw that, and actually what the government is doing, he is turning it back over to the states. However the states seem fit to do it, he's fine with that. In other words, the federal government is no longer making states integrate, where we used to have the white only bathrooms and colored only water fountains and stuff. If your state that you live in decide that they want to do that again with this administration that's in office, there's nothing policing them that's going to make them not do it. And I'm with Ayo. I told somebody this the other day and he just looked at me. I said, I have no problem with it because for the first time in our generation, we're about to see the heart of the people that we are up under right now.
Right.
Because of the government, people have been misinformed and believe that racism don't exist, that it's not as bad as it used to be in 1965, and that we living in a better time than. No, we don't. We're about to find out.
Right.
Because the government is no longer policing these states, right? They're not.
Right.
In that speech that you said that he said that Martin Luther King gave, he said equal rights. How did he say it? Go back to that speech. What did he say? He said equal rights. I want to get it how he said
the end we seek is a society at peace with itself, a society that can live with its conscience. And that day will be a day not of the white man, not of the black man, but that a day where a man is a man.
That's not the part that I was talking about. It was some part in there where he said something about equal rights. I don't know if he said that.
Let's see. I think they were saying over the course of 5 days, when they reached the Capitol, they presented a petition reading, we have come not only 5 days and 50 miles, but we have come from 3 centuries of suffering and hardship. We have come to you, the governor of Alabama, to declare that we must have our freedom now. We must have the right to vote. We must have equal protection of the law and an end to police brutality. Is that it?
Equal protection of the law, which was not a bad thing to be fighting for. We should not have been fighting for integration, but we just want to be treated fairly. And that's where we need to be at, right? Look, me and my family was talking about it the other day, man. The Bible don't even condone integration. He said you are a peculiar people.
People set apart.
Set apart. Set apart don't mean that you were like everybody else and that you were with everybody else. This, that. He gave Israel a set of laws and Gentiles a set of laws.
Right.
This is how you treat your brother. Like, Ayo borrow something from me. I am not to get rich off of Ayo by charging him interest.
Right.
I should just expect back what it is that I gave him if he could give it back.
Right.
But if somebody of another nation borrow me, I can tax that ass. Use my language.
Nah, go ahead. That's right. Right. I can get you. Right.
And if you don't have my money on time, I can send some of my items to come get you.
Right. Because and on top of that, like what the chat is saying, turn up the light, said we are not our ancestors, and Banaf said we show link. Listen, it's gonna be a different day. Sitting in at a Greensboro diner till we get served, bro. Listen, that's not gonna happen in 2025 and beyond.
Right.
We'll tear that joke up. We'll turn that joke.
We're gonna tear that joke up. Yeah.
Y'all sick of segregate? You want to be segregated? Okay. Well, no more fried chicken, no more seasoning.
Man, I wish a restaurant would today.
And we'll dare you to want to come into our establishment and wait and not move till you get served. It'll be the last time you sit anywhere. So again, it's not going to be the same way as 1954. It's not going to be that way. They know that. They know that, bro. They know.
And this is a part of the reset, though. You got to think about it, man, because you gotta first have a distrust with the government, and you also gotta have a turmoil, or what you would call is it an insurrection, but a chaotic society, because it got to get so bad to the point where somebody got to come in and be like, yo, we got the answer. You see what I'm saying? So all of this look, 700,000 South Africans are saying that they want to take Trump up on coming over here to America because they feel like they being treated. Now, if 700,000 of them come, what you think they're gonna do with us? You just heard the dude say that they scared about their numbers, right?
They're trying to.
If you think immigration gonna stop with what they call the illegal immigrants, you crazy. Y'all better go read the Patriot Act. Go read the Patriot Act. It ain't nothing patriot about that act.
Right.
And they can deem whomever they want to an illegal immigrant at any time that they want to and lock your ass up. Excuse my language again, but it just got to be said.
It's again, the Dred Scott decision was never is still in the books. That means the states, if he turns it back over to the states, that means the states can do anything they want to concerning us when it comes to the law.
When it comes to the law.
When it comes to the law concerning us, states, right? Like, we just keep you in jail till you're right for looking at somebody wrong.
Right, and you lucky if it is a jail, because they got places that we have absolutely no idea that exists.
That's what yeah. So that's why I wanted to bring that out, because it correlates to what's the climate that's building and what's going on, man. And I'm like, I've read that, and I was like, wow, that was 60-something years ago, just in March.
Right.
And now look at it's a whole different day and time, man. Marching, the marching days is over. It's basically what I'm saying. I
ain't no marching.
Yeah, I just don't
march
see
what?
Us marching. Yeah, for what? I just don't see us marching.
March what?
No more, man. So
excuse my language. Y'all probably think I'm insensitive on this here, but only suckers marching, because only suckers thinking that this is gonna change. Yeah. So you come knocking on my door talking about come march. Y'all suckers better get off my porch. That's what y'all better do.
We marching.
Ain't nobody marching.
We ain't marching.
Nah, my feet hurt. I'm too old for all that. Get away from me.
Yeah. And I'm so happy. I think majority of everything I see is April 5th March. People like, look, we on your own, black folk. We sitting this out.
What they marching for anyway? What the white people marching for?
Speaking Democrats, it's basically Democrats, whole bunch of Democrats, 1 million. Well, now from what I've seen, it's up to 2 million. They're marching in state to states, going to state capitals, marching in the streets, going to major cities and marching to protest Donald Trump, Doge, the whole Secretary of Defense chat gaff. What did they do last week? Hedseth, he was unwittingly gave up secrets to war strategy and some chat online to China or something like that.
I saw that.
That's the whole thing. They've been against that stuff. So.
We saw in real time. Let me throw this out here too. We saw in real time the destruction of the Democratic Party, y'all. I don't care what nobody say. Democratic Party dead. I just don't see it coming back. And what we see in real time now is the destruction of the Republican Party as well.
Yeah. They both
And what do we always say about right and left wings? They the
same.
two different wings on the same bird. But in order for that bird to move forward, both of those wings got to work together. So I don't care how they make it look to you and me. When Biden was doing what he was doing, and it was so obvious that he was destroying the country, he was doing what he was supposed to do.
You know what he's supposed to do. Yep.
He was playing the script.
Yep. Exactly.
Now Trump is in office. He's doing the exact same thing. It's just look a little bit different. But guess what that bird doing? That bird flying.
That bird flying. They
bird is moving. Because the right and the left, they working together, Ike.
Yeah.
Working together.
It's crazy, man. We got to endure, folks. We got to endure, whether we are ancestors or not. We got to, whether we're going to be tough or use wisdom, whatever we got to do, we got to figure it out and move together. Just like how he's saying that bird is moving, we got to figure out something on how to come together and move and come on one common ground and cry out to the Most High and get some kind of wisdom about this thing. Because if we don't,
if my people who are called by my name,
that is
my people, my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray.
That's it. That's it.
That's the answer right there, man.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's the answer right there, man.
They gotta figure it out, man. And somehow.
So Satan took Hamashiach to a high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world, right? Indeed. He told him, he said, I give you all of this if you bow down and worship me. I said, man, gone, right? Mm-hmm. Ain't even finna play these games with him. Get him with the word. Both sides. I forgot. How did he tell them in Matthew chapter 4? I don't want to mess it up. Hold on. Let me run over there.
He said it is written.
I want to be on the wrong one. Thou shalt worship the Most High, thy power, and him only shall thou serve. Verse 10. Right?
He said, then 11, he said, then he left. The devil left after heard that.
Hit him with the word. So that offer, though, that he gave him, he also gave that offer to Edom too, people. And Esau accepted it. That same offer. What did Job tell us? That the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. And they hide the faces of the judges thereof. That's us. They hide our faces. People don't even know who we are. We didn't even know who we was.
Right.
The judges of the earth faces was hid in plain sight in front of everybody. We heard, but nobody knew. We didn't know. While the wicked was what? Prospering. Listen to this right here, man. We finna hear about the same type of stuff that Esau do from two different people, one at a time, and we're going to talk about each one of them. Check out this verse. This is a brother.
Were the people that pointed fingers at me and say, your people did this to me? Never. My grandfather named me Zanu. Zanu means that which belongs to the dark, which means I'm attracted to negative things. And guess what? Name does actually work with kids. I love negative things, meaning that I love things that are not the group think. So that day in the room in France, while the people were going around, I have never faced that question. I don't have the answer. I've never even thought about it.
Right.
So the answer came from their answers. So I'm listening and I was like, oh my God. If I introduce myself, it will be one of them whose parents gave me that name, Frank. I'm a black man from Africa. Here I am hanging with a French name, right? So I will use their grandfathers gave me that name. What is my official language? It's either French or English. They gave it to me. My mode of dressing, they gave it to me. The curriculums that raised me to even be able to be in that room, they gave it to me. The plane ride to that country, their forefathers built it, you understand? So it was hitting me, and I said, huh, wow. Then when it came to me, I said it. I said, wow, I have never thought about it. But this is the first time I will say to you, by listening to people, the burden with which they live their lives and grow. This is the first time I will say, I am really proud of my ancestors, because they left nothing behind, nothing at all. I've traveled the world as a black man, and I have never seen a black country where the people who live in it are foreigners that were brought there by blacks as slaves. Not one single country. Yet the black race has more countries on earth than any other country. 54 are on the continent. 13 black countries in the Caribbean. So 68 black countries. There's not a single black country where slaves were bought from outside by black people. I've traveled the world. Not a single country in the world colonized by a black country. There's nowhere you go on Mother Earth where the language they are speaking was imposed on them by force by a black country. I've traveled the world, and I have never seen a religion that is imposed upon anybody anywhere in this world by a black country. The 68 black countries in the world, the largest continent by number of countries, not a single one of them has a nuclear weapon of mass destruction. Black countries across the world, none of them is responsible for what we call the military complex, where we are manufacturing dirty bombs and sending things into the water to pollute people. I've traveled the world, and I'm yet to see one product that was forced to be sold in another country by a black country. So it means the black race is the only race on earth that represents what the United Nations have been looking for the last 100 years, peace. Yes, we fought internal wars just like anybody, and that is all we did. Therefore, in my travels, there was no place I went on earth where the people there pointed fingers at me and say, your people did this to me. Never. The black person is the only one who travels this earth, and no one who pointed a finger. That's what my ancestors left behind. Nothing.
Holy shit.
That has to be definitely, I'd say, more powerful than anything any of the other countries have said.
Was no
Wow.
The elect said things that make you go,
Right. Good gracious. Wow.
What is, when you hear that, tell me, what does that do for you when your wheels start turning? And I'm hoping I'm asking this question right, but how does that make you feel about us as a people? Can you hear that and still come out of it and say that we all the same?
I can't say that we all the same, but I could say that we are starting to recognize and understand we may not all be the same, but the melanation carries something. You know what I'm saying? Because like you just said, we can all travel, me, you, and him together. People could hear us having a conversation, but they'll say, oh, the dudes in the Truth Be Told Flesh podcast and the Dimitri and the Hat, they got an American accent. But the bald-headed guy, he has an African accent. But they'll look at our skin also, even we're from two different continents. They'll look at our skin and say, they've never colonized. They've never got on boats with a nuclear weapon or with weapons and went and seized a place. Like I told you, 19 Keys talking about the Holy Roman Empire. Do you know? Y'all go read the in-depth accounts of the Inquisition. I don't think people really, they were sawing off people's hands and feet. They were tying up parents, tying up their children, sawing off fingers and plucking out eyeballs just to say, I'll accept the Holy Roman Empire or Catholicism. We've never done that. That's what he's saying. You can't look at me and say, your people did that to a people or peoples. So again, to answer your question, it makes me think everything he was saying when I watched that video like 3 or 4 times today. And I was just like, wow, Benin, Judah, which is now Lagos in Nigeria. All the old maps. If you just, none of those countries has ever invaded and colonized. He said 68 countries, all melanated countries, no nuclear weapons. Why did they? So that makes you think. Now hearing that, it makes you think, wow, why do they have nuclear weapons? To defend against somebody that's coming back to take what was stolen from them. That's what it's for.
Right.
The old white woman, she don't clutch her pocketbook in the elevator because she think I'm gonna steal it. She clutches it because she knows I owe you. I owe you. Not that you're gonna rob me and take it, but I owe you. That's why she clutches her pocketbook. The fear of knowing in the back of your brain that for so long, these people are still here and we owe them. How they still here?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what, again, when I hear that, it's like, man, we are different, but for some reason we may be starting to get on that same path, that same way of thinking. Because when you hear that, like they had American accents, and they was like, wow, I ain't never heard that like that.
Yo,
So
it's conversations like that to me that are so needful, because we have been lulled to sleep. And I always say this, and I say it in the exact same way, that we have been robbed from the knowledge that we have enemies in this land. Right. We have natural enemies. You go throughout the Bible, all throughout the Bible. Shalom. Shalom, Elder Nasiah. Probably need to get with you. Yeah, probably gonna have to get with you sometime tonight if you're gonna be still up. I don't know what tomorrow. But yeah, we have forgotten, and it was by design, that they are our natural enemies. Throughout the entire Bible, it lets you know that Esau will always be an enemy to Jacob, man. I'm looking for the scripture. I know it's in Genesis. I can't find it, where it was tell you that Jacob, we would be tent dwellers, but Esau, you know, he not going to be a tent dweller. That brother going to be a wild brother, and he going to conquer, you know what I'm saying, with his sword. And that's exactly what it is he was doing. There is nothing in me that can say that we are the same when listening to that. We have two different natures altogether, Aki. Right. Regardless of what the news show us, what people believe, like, if all you see on the news is black people killing each other and shooting each other up in clubs and parties and stuff like that, no matter where you are, no matter what country you live in, that's how you're going to believe the nature of black people is. Mm-hmm. But me being black, I can tell you right now, we are probably the most peaceable people in all of earth.
Sure we are.
We are the most forgiving, for sure, of any other nation. We would much rather just chill out and be by ourselves. But we're going to see another video of a white guy later on in the show that explains how systemic works and why we act the way we act in certain situations. And I'm not giving no excuses or nothing like this, but we are products of our environments. Why do you think they call projects projects? It's in the word. It was a project.
Project 2025 is a project.
It's a project. Let's cram them all together and just give them barely enough to make it, while the women are dealing with not having men in the house, and let's see what their end shall be. And that's what you got. You got a bunch of rebellious, stiff-necked people that now you can propagandize on the TV as they're all the bad actors. That's where the crime, this is why crime in America is so high.
Right.
When it's not the truth.
It's not.
The truth is, we in a situation because you put us in this situation, and you are the gatekeepers. And when you open it up, you only let one or two out at a time, and you put them up there. And then when they get there, you put in front of them these contracts and make sure that they don't reach back to go get others.
Right.
Because now you belong to me. I gave you this here. I gave you this platform. I gave you this money. You got a famous name? Well, I gave that to you.
Yep. Facts.
See?
It's facts out.
So not only do they colonize lands, they colonize people.
That's it.
That's an evil seed. That's something that is in them.
You got to be something different to be born with that and to perpetrate that. You got to be something different.
Finish show a picture here. Pictures are sometimes greater than 1,000 words. What we have here is countries that have been under European control, or countries that they have colonized.
Look at that.
Look at this.
Look at
this. All of that in green. And if they haven't colonized it, it's in yellow, and it says European sphere of influence.
Right.
Look at that, people.
Look at that. And that's why I was saying in my commentary, even if you speak a different dialect, whether it's Swahili, whether it's Congo, whether it's from, man, we got to get on the same page and agree. Like, bruh, we can agree on this. Like, you would have to be crazy to look at that and try your best to deny that. You can't.
Yes. You can't.
If you are melanated and still talk crazy and deny that, then again, we'll never be on the same page. Is my point. We'll never be on. Ain't no way. You will always think like that. Like you said, you the one that got let out the cage. I let you out the cage. So now you go perpetrate to your own people that's still in the cage that it's their fault because you got out.
That's what you got out.
Meaning, so when we do get out the cage and return to our power and finally realize who we are, you're not like us. You got to go. We got to do away with something. We got to get you squared away, bro. Because you destroy us to give him back power.
Hey, what did it say in Maccabees, man? Evil Israelites, they got together and say, yo, let us go back and go and see if we can make a deal with them heathens. Because ever since we departed, ain't nothing been going right for us. And then they gave them a decree, a license.
Yep. To do what they were doing. Yep.
To do what it is that they was doing.
Yep.
These are your Stephen A. Smiths. These are your Steve Harveys.
I was just about to say that. These
are your D.L. Hugleys.
Yep. Rolling.
These are the ones that come knock on your door and tell you that we doing health research in your neighborhood and we need you to donate blood so we can see if you got cancer or not. So they can take your blood back to them people and they can do whatever it is that they do with your blood.
Right. I'm good. I'm straight.
That's these people.
That's what they do, though. That's right.
Because it's easier to send somebody that look like you to persuade you than somebody that look like them, because we'll run them off the porch, right?
Right. Yeah. If you look like me, again, we can speak a different culture, different dialect, but if you look like me and watch that video of that brother and then look at that map and still disagree, I don't know what to tell you. We have, like you said, we have got to come together, cry to our power, and get on one accord, man.
Roland Martin for show.
Boy, he would be up here arguing us down right now.
Oh yeah, right now.
What's that police officer? Tatum would too.
Yeah.
He'll be up here. He'll be going off on us right now. What you talk about? This is the greatest country. Oh, okay, and you keep believing that. They about to show you real fast it is the greatest country.
Yeah, they about to show you real fast.
Show you real quick.
After they finish using him, because see, they got roles.
Right.
You ever see them herdle cattle?
Yeah.
It's a script. they cattle they are cattle herders. That's what it. So they got to come to us and get all of us to thinking they way so that but after they done with them, they going to be right there next to us.
Listen, bro, all this big U, whack 100, brick baby, loose cannon stuff out in the rolling 60s out, bro. Listen, this is all this stuff, y'all, is CIA op and script.
That's exactly what it is.
They are no longer profitable. Y'all seen Snowfall. Once you become no longer profitable, or like I'll just say it, once you try to get out of the cage and do it on your own, they be like, this is what we taught you. You're going to turn your back on us? Okay, take them all down. That's what's happening in real time. We've seen it right before our eyes. Once that script is done, they're going to rip up that script and say, all right, go get them.
We got 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Wow.
Let's hear this white man, 40 seconds. Check this white man out. He went in on his people.
Do you really want to talk about what Europe was doing in Africa? Rape, pillage, mass murder, torture, and slavery. That's what you were doing. That's what you were doing with all of your good brains and all of your good ideas. Stealing everyone's resources to take them back to your allegedly blessed good climate of Europe. And how are you going to talk about what Africa doesn't have when you either destroyed it or you stole it, anything that they did have? And you made yourselves wealthy and comfortable in Europe by doing that. You know, the kingdom of Benin, you destroyed the great city walls of Benin, the royal palace, you looted and you pillaged, and the same in Mali, the same in Zimbabwe, on and on. You destroy everyone else's stuff and then brag about being the only one who has stuff. Do you really want to talk about what Europe was doing in Africa?
Shaheem Bosun be on it, boy.
Hey, look here, man.
Shaheem Bosun.
He couldn't have said it no better. Said no, but you want to brag about what you got and what nobody else got when you done took it.
Right. Saying all that good up in Europe. What you talking about?
Right.
That ain't all y'all done is tortured, pillaged, and just destroyed. Like that's something to be proud of. All right.
I came home in a 1977 canary yellow Coupe de Ville, all white interior, and you steal it, and you come back to my hood and you ask me, you like my car?
Right.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
And my car, no bad. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But they tell me, I didn't steal it. I discovered it.
Well, okay. Oh, you done hooked it up, put some wheels on it. It already has stuff to it, but I got it looking good. Knowing the whole time, you're like, man, that's my car.
That's my car.
And then if I pass away and my son recognize, man, that same car is in my dad's pictures. And if your 2 grandchildren have it, guess what? If my grandchild want to take it back, guess what? It's still his. That's what we're nothing's changed with that. Nothing has changed. We're just taking it back one day at a time. That's all.
Make America great again. Make it white again is what they're really trying to tell y'all, man.
That's it.
And Trump is being like Pontius Pilate right now. He is wiping his hands from it. He's trying to say that he ain't got nothing to do with it by giving it back to the
state.
I'm just going to let the state deal with it, but you're going to be just as guilty, though. Your hands is just as guilty.
Just as bloody.
Your hands is going to be just as
bloody, bro. Giving it back to the state. Don't absolve you from the sins. You still just as part.
Exactly.
You the head of it all. You the head of it.
Telling you, man, I could be wrong, and I hope that I am wrong. But before all of this is over with, and I can go as far as say that I believe that I'm 99.5% right on this, because it always happens like this. Before this is all over with, Judah head is going to be the head that's on the chopping block.
Yes.
And the sad thing about it is that we think that we so safe.
No, man.
We don't think nothing can happen. We don't understand what the 13th Amendment is. We don't understand the nature of the 14th Amendment. We don't understand the nature of those 2 amendments in order for them to do what it is that they're going to be able to do with us. Constitution. So a white person to say the Constitution protects me from, look, the Constitution never had nothing to do with us to begin with.
Right. Right.
So the Constitution can't protect you and me, Ayo.
Right. That's right.
We was never a part of the thought of the Constitution from day one.
They never included us when they wrote it. We were never included.
Never.
We were never included.
So when it comes down to the nuts and bolts of this situation, Negro, you are just as illegal as the Venezuelans.
Right. Right.
It's just a matter of when they gonna declare you.
Yep. Just a matter of when.
Or if they don't declare you an illegal, they're gonna declare you a terrorist. I told y'all, go read that Patriot Act. Ain't nothing patriot about it.
Right.
And Donald Trump is that president that, hey, he don't like the government, he's a terrorist.
Yep. He's speaking against the government. Oh,
he's a terrorist.
He's a terrorist. Yep.
He that dude.
Yep. That's where we at. In game.
It's been great, man. I felt like this was gonna be a fire show.
Yeah, man.
I did.
Good.
I felt like this was gonna be a fire show. Coming up weeks, the show may be on, it may not be on. People of the House of Shia Yeshua, we are in the progress of moving. So I don't know what it's gonna be. There he is. What's happening, man?
What's up here?
What's going on? I like that hair, man.
He got him a shape up the other day.
Yeah.
Clean and crisp.
But not said, what's happening, one.
Say what's happening.
There it is.
Been bouncing.
Hey, man, that barber cold.
But yeah. She stay hooked up on the ones and twos.
Yeah. Man, that barber cold. Got that sponge going.
Yeah, that hair getting long. So we're gonna lock it up.
Yeah. You gonna lock it up? That's what's up. Yeah, it's good seeing you, man. You're gonna have to come one of these days. You're gonna have to co-host with Ayo.
You like that? You want to co-host with Ayo and be on the podcast?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see. What
Hey,
he'll do. He's
gonna try
beyond critical race theory. He's gonna do everything.
Right.
He's gonna do it all. Boy. I want to get up here and talk y'all to death. DELL.
Nah, I said that appearance made my night. All praises. When you got that effect.
Hey, Bruno.
Yeah. You got that effect. But yeah, we are in the process of moving. So I don't know what these next 2, is it next 2 or 3 weeks, man? What you think? Next 2 weeks, the next 2 weeks, I'm not sure how that's going to go. So we're going to try to, I'm going to try my best to be in for next week, but we already got the lineup, you know what I'm saying? We got the lineup. Just don't know if I'm gonna be in a position to be able to come in and host. But but I think everybody, I truly do, man. Y'all have no idea how much I appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
Ayob, I appreciate you and your family as well. Man, I wanted to get into how you pronounce that girl name, Sadikasha Kanoski. I can't think of that. I can't pronounce her name.
The Indian girl that's got kidnapped. Have they found her yet? I haven't really.
Man, we gonna talk about. Man, I pray we can get on next week. If not, I'm gonna hit you up, see if you could come on at least over the weekend, and maybe we could talk. I got a theory on this chick.
Okay.
Like for real. And I got a theory, huh?
It's a little mysterious.
Yeah, I got a theory on this chick. I want to talk about her. I was telling my wife about it, man, and the way I'm thinking, I wouldn't put it past the government whatsoever at all.
So we might be on the same. We might be on the same wavelength.
Wavelength, yeah. Okay, then. We gonna see. Yeah, but it's what they telling us is not what I don't think it's the truth, but but with that being said, we're going to end this show tonight. We really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I know that it blessed me. This has been great.
It's a great show. Welcome back.
Great show. Wanda, you can give it to us live. How we go up out of here, Wanda? What you tell us?
What you tell them?
Twice out.
Twice out.